Kengo and Mayu had been together for 8 years. Kengo, 32, worked as a sales representative at a tech company. Every night after work, Kengo went for a 2-hour run. It had become part of his routine. Mayu, 29, was an illustrator. She loved staying home, reading, watching dramas, and enjoying the quiet moments of life. After years together, Kengo and Mayu finally decided to live under the same roof. A small apartment that marked the beginning of their shared life. At home, Kengo spent most evenings playing online games with his friends, while Mayu sat on the other end of the couch, reading, watching shows, doing her own thing. One day, Mayu looked up and asked Kengo,
"Did you hear that? The sound of a key turning?"
Maybe. The walls here aren't great. Probably just the neighbors coming home.
Actually, I've heard it before when you weren't home. A few times, I even thought it was you unlocking the door.
After a while, Mayu stopped thinking about it. Maybe, just as Kengo said, it was nothing more than the neighbors next door. One evening, Kengo followed his usual routine, changing after work and heading out for a run. At that time, Mayu was in the bathroom taking a bath, enjoying a quiet moment to herself.
I'm going for a run.
Okay, be careful on your way.
Not long after Kengo left, Mayu heard the sound of a key turning in the lock. But she didn't think much of it. Probably just a neighbor coming home. 2 hours later, Kengo returned home after his run. Kengo reached his door. It was left ajar. A sense of unease rose within him. The room was in disarray. Mayu lay on the floor with visible bruises on her arms and shoulders. Kengo immediately called for an ambulance. So how did all of this happen? Kengo and Mayu had just moved into the building and everything felt perfect. The building had security guards, cleaners, and a package delivery service. Life there was incredibly convenient. But what they didn't know was that from the very first day they moved in, one of the security guards had been quietly watching Mayu. The guard noticed that Kengo went out at the same time every night. One night during his patrol, the guard accidentally noticed that Kengo often hid his house key under the doormat. So, on a few nights during his rounds, the guard tried using the hidden key to open their apartment door while Kengo was away. The moment he pushed the door open, Mayu stepped out of the bathroom. Their eyes met.
Who are you? This is my home. Why are you here?
Mayu stumbled back in panic as the guard reached out, trying to stop her scream. The guard covered her mouth and Mayu struggled desperately. The two wrestled in the narrow living room. Moments later, Mayu collapsed and stopped moving. Panicking, the guard turned and fled the scene.
And this is the truth behind the story.